Lions fans, welcome to the Detroit Lions podcast, episode 352. This is the official Detroit Lions podcast for Reddit. I am your most dashing host, Chris, and with me is the effervescent and always gloriously coiffed, even under a hat, Jeff the Riz Risden. How you doing, brother?
It is good to be with you. I'm so excited, Chris. I have been waiting to do this all day.
Yeah.
So let's just dive in because we have so much to talk about.
You got to tease a couple things. You got to tease a little bit.
You're the teaser. I'm more the man of action.
Okay. We'll talk about that. That's okay. First off and foremost, the thing that I am absolutely most excited about and can't wait to talk about is Lions cornerback and member of the 53-man roster, Jerry Jacobs. He will be joining us tonight. This is going to be a great conversation. Do not miss this. We're going to have a little bit of celebration and a little bit of interview and a whole lot of fun. This is awesome. His story, if you didn't hear from our previous podcast, please go back and check that out. It's an amazing story. He is an easy guy to love. Really cool cat. We're also going to talk the Lions cut down to 53. This is a tough time for a lot of people, right? It feels tough on one side, celebrating with Jerry and how great a story it is. There's a lot of guys who don't have a job. We'll talk about who some of those guys are, what we think, where some of them have landed, and go on from there. We will also get you ready for Friday's podcast. What? Yep, another show on Friday. I'm doing the tease and Riz. Another show on...
Just the tip. That's all good.
We're doing another show on Friday. We're going to do a look at the roster as it stands now. Today is going to be talking about kind of the past and what's going on, and then a real exciting look at the future with Jerry. And then on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we'll have another podcast, and we're going to talk about the roster, how it stands, who's on it. There's a couple things that'll change between now and then. We'll get those in there as well and make sure you have the latest and greatest news about the podcast. Does that sound like everything, Riz?
It sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's kick this off and break it down.
All right, let's get right into this. First, again, this is part one of our roster breakdown. It happens this evening, and we will be talking about who's no longer with the team, and we will finish then with the man who is with the team, Jerry Jacobs, as we said. And then 1 o'clock Friday, we'll talk about the episode, and we'll
be looking much more forward on Friday at what the roster looks like then, where things might still happen, and also start to get ready for a regular season game that takes place in 12 days, 11 days.
Yes,
it's Wednesday.
Yes.
And I don't know. I'm not good at math.
Yep. There's a vlog coming as well, and also the cocktail kickoff. We have a cocktail show prepping you for Lions games. We'll have an episode showing you how to make a cocktail every week, and then we will drink that with you in the post-game show. Again, Ash Thompson and Andy Sandman will be joining us on the post-game shows. Andy on the away games, because as a season ticket holder, he's got other things to do on game day at home. I think that sets up all the housekeeping. Let's get in. Oh, no, one more thing. And something I would be remiss if I missed. I have to wish my wife, my beautiful wife, a very, very happy birthday, and I'm very, very lucky to celebrate.
You are a lucky man. Your wife is indeed a beautiful woman, and she's an angel for putting up with you, and also for graciously allowing me to sleep in your guest room for a few nights. That was very wonderful of her.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
How did you like sleeping in my silhouette? No, it's great. It's great. I did outkick my coverage there. All right, let's get right into it.
Yeah, you did. I did too.
There is a gentleman that a lot of people are talking about. There's a lot of people that have been talked about, and we'll cover each of them along the way. But I think the first and foremost person that we talked about and has been a big piece of chat in our Slack, our Patreon Slack, is Tyrell Crosby. We have
definitely
what we know is, and you've said it all offseason, very, very little, if not no depth on the offensive line. And Tyrell Crosby is probably the best prospect we have, the best player with the most experience on the offensive line, and we cut him. Now he's fallen to IR. It looks like nobody picked up, so he's been cleared.
That's correct.
But let's walk through this, Riz, because this really is a gap for the Lions.
Remember, this was our starting right tackle last year, and there were some of us who argued that with more seasoning and more coaching and more developmental attention, he could stay as the starting right tackle. They obviously felt differently. And the more that I got to be around the Dan Campbell regime, and it's not just Dan, it's the entire coaching mantra and people affiliated with the team and everything.
Yep.
They were not big Tyrell Crosby fans. They gave him chances to prove himself that he could win them over. and it just didn't happen. He was hurt for some of the time. He is indeed legitimately hurt. As in the conversation that I had with somebody the other day was, you saw what happened in the last game. He gave up that god awful sack. If he's not hurt, you can't ever play that guy. Hopefully he's hurt, because that was rough. Now Tim Boyle does deserve a little bit of credit for his own sacking there, as he took a deep 5-step drop out of a deep shotgun. There's not a play in any playbook that has that, especially on the down and distance that they were in. So Boyle didn't help him or Panay there, but yeah. So Tyrell, he honestly, he played his way out of a job, and it was a deal where, look, they drafted Panay, so that he's not going to. Tyrell's never going to be more than this swing tackle, your number 3 tackle. He's in the last year of his contract. They were not. This is my educated speculation. They were not really considering bringing him back. That was made pretty clear to me that he just wasn't in the long-term plans, and he kind of played that way. When he was out there. So you've heard me.
I would talk about a little bit what I know, and this isn't we've laughed at folks who have somebody inside the building before. And the one thing that we have always said is you need to be genuine and honest, and really have real information when you talk about things like this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of thought that maybe last year he wasn't as hurt as that he couldn't play. A lot of guys would have played through what he did, and the sense was that he gave up on the team. Now, with a coaching staff like you have now, that is the kiss of death. And I'll tell you, they have had a shopping cart rolling around with that jersey in it for a long time.
I can verify they absolutely tried to trade him on draft weekend, and they did not find anybody that would give them anything worthwhile.
Yep.
I can find you, and I have people that you and I both know who can verify that did in fact happen. They did not get offers then.
Yep.
So for anybody that's screaming about, oh my God, they're going to lose a comp pick because no. Nobody was signing Tyrell Crosby to a deal that would ever bring back a comp pick, period. Just put that out of your mind.
And I'll say the key part is, right, again, with this regime, you want guys that have that heart, right? That kneecap spirit, whatever you want to call it.
You want kneecap fighters.
Yeah.
Tyrell Crosby is not a keycap fighter.
He's a great player.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a very good guy,
God,
and I hope that he
really
does in fact catch on. He will get an injury settlement, is my guess. He's on injured reserve. He cannot play for the Lions again. He can take an injury settlement and go somewhere else. That's not that terribly uncommon for guys to do that and wind up playing somewhere else during the year. Andre Llewellyn did it from another team coming back to the Lions twice.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Tyrell winds up being somewhere around Halloween. I think that's probably about when he would be healthy enough to be considered to play. If a playoff contender loses a tackle or they have depth issues or whatever,
yep.
Good luck to him. God bless him. And he's a good dude, and he did well for himself for where he was drafted. But the writing was on the wall for him, and he sort of took that writing and embraced it a little bit.
And I think that's the big thing for the big thing to separate, because Tyrell Crosby, I love him on Twitter. He's a really cool dude, right?
He is,
now,
absolutely.
And he's a good player. There's no question about that. And he's the kind of player that would help a desperate point of need. But there's also the point of fit, and there's the point of what can folks do. For how do they fit in the culture of the team? And it's the idea, and I hate this example, but it's the only one that comes to mind right now. Matt Patricia and Darius Slay were never ever going to get along. Quandre Diggs
Correct.
And Matt Patricia were never going to get along.
Oh God, no.
And the person with the control in that relationship was Matt Patricia over Bob Quinn, to have both of those guys gone because they were not fits for what they were doing. And again, smarter people, different situation, but similar in that it wasn't a fit for what they're trying to do. Also, if you look at what's going on with this team, you're going to see a team that is very, very much driving. They're not driving to a 10-win season this year. If they got 10, and look, they're going to play like they're trying for 10 wins. There's no question they're not going to give up, and they're going to play that way. Like that's what they're after. But this is a team that is building young talent. This is a team that is going to be take what we haven't seen really in since when, Riz? When has this team in our lifetimes? I'm thinking, okay, I'm talking long term here. When has this team been able to take young talent and grow them rather than take guys on their second contract and try to bring them in to prop everything up to make it work?
It's so much cheaper. That's why Jerry is on this team. Jerry Jacobs is on this team instead of Corn Elder. Corn honestly is probably a better NFL player right now than Jerry is. They're not worried about the results this year. They're worried about seeing who can be part of the team when they're ready to compete in 2022, when they know that the Packers window has changed, that the Bears window has changed, that the Vikings window, they're probably still licking it. They're going to be ready to pounce on that with a lot of young and, by the way, inexpensive people. Yep. That means that they can go shopping for a higher, instead of shopping, on the middle shelf for a wide receiver and for a safety. They can go top shelf. They can go and get the best on the market if they want to. I don't know if they will, but that sort of flexibility, paying Jerry the league minimum instead of paying Corn Elder 1.5 times the league minimum. If you do that with enough spots, and they did, that's going to save some money over the long term.
And let's be real. And Jerry's a great example because he is so top of mind. I've like every hour today, I've just kind of internally celebrated this story because it's such a great story.
So cool.
But there's a guy that, with cornerbacks, young cornerbacks, you see so many guys that do build up and become something that is unexpected versus the guys that get brought in the first round and don't perform right now. And nobody mentioned Jeff Okudah's name because we're both high on Okudah and think that he's got a lot to offer this team, and this is going to be his first kind of breakout year, right? Don't forget against Slay. Everyone loves Slay and the history and the thought of Slay. His first year, he was benched. We keep bringing that up. Jeff never got benched, but he did play injured like all year, right? I mean, so let's think about that.
He played press man, not being allowed to press with an injured groin. That's not easy, folks.
No,
not at all. So yeah. AJ Parker, another great example, an undrafted rookie, made this team. He wasn't even like when they signed him, they didn't have any competition to sign AJ Parker. To be honest with you, I watched some of his Kansas State stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. He's in here. He has busted his ass. He pushed Nickel Roby-Coleman to the practice squad.
Yep.
They brought Corn Elder in, beat him out, beat Mike Ford out quickly. It's proof, and it's setting the tone for the larger culture that the players who are going to be part of this team are guys that are young and hungry and driving forward and have something to offer in the long term rather than just being a placeholder in the short term. Look at the guys that they cut, Tyrell being one of them. I'm trying to think of another one.
Sage Sharon.
Bruce Hector is one. A guy that I like and played very well, but he's a little bit older. These are guys who would make teams that are trying to compete higher than what they are, that are more aspirational. The Cincinnati Bengals is an example. They would both be on the Bengals in place of a lower rated rookie because the Bengals would try to win that's what they do. That's one of the reasons why they keep stumbling. I like that the Lions are acknowledging that, you know what, we're probably not going to be that good this year, but you know what, we're going to work and get better. And the guys that we're relying on this year, they might have some trouble, but they're going to learn from it and they'll be better in the long run. You saw the Pistons do that with a guy like Sadiq Bey, and it worked out great. I think they're sort of following the model that Troy Weaver and the Pistons did. And look, we don't know if they're going to land. They're not going to land the football equivalent of Cade Cunningham, but I hope they do.
This year's Lions is last year's Pistons. I mean, that's one of the best examples I've really, really seen. And last year's Pistons were a heck of a lot of fun to watch.
They were. We wound up watching almost every game. I mean, even with Plum Dog Millionaire out there, throwing the ball away, they were still entertaining.
Yeah,
and they fought hard. They fought for their coach. They embraced their coach's vision and they went for it.
Yep.
They didn't have as much talent. Although look at what happened with Jeremy Grant. He became a star. Jeff Okudah could be that as a guy that kind of overlooked. Winds up being a star. The parallels are in fact there.
There are so many of those truly American kind of underdog stories sitting on this Lions team waiting to happen right now. And that's what's so great, right? I mean, I feel like we've had this kind of hope before when we went from Schwartz, who really turned this team around, to Caldwell, who took the next step, and we were ready to go, and then it got burnt down with Patricia and Quinn. But right now, I feel like there's real hope on this team and an ability to truly turn this franchise around in my lifetime. Right? It's always been the when is it going to happen kind of thing, and when we saw Patricia, it was we had that taste where it could happen, but to really take it from the ground floor, start looking at young talent, building the roster in an intelligent way at the beginning. You're not saddled with, remember, Sue and Stafford and
all the giant contracts.
Yeah, Calvin, the huge contracts, those rookie deals that were so hard. This is a modern team finally starting to build into something. This is actually going to be a heck of a lot of fun to watch. And I think
it is because you got so many guys that are look at the kickings. Can we talk about the kickers for a second?
I want to talk about the kickers next, so let's do it.
Okay, all right. They cut both of their kickers, and they claimed one today. Austin Seibert is the new kicker. Randy Bullock, as much as he wasn't great in camp, was in fact perfect in the preseason.
Yep.
Zane Gonzalez was too. It was shaky. He almost hit the pole on his one, but they're perfectly fine NFL kickers.
Onside kicks were on point.
That onside kick was beautiful.
Yep.
That was
I've
sweet.
seen. That was real nice. Yeah. Top shelf.
But Randy Bullock is not a guy who's your long-term solution at kicker, nor is Zane Gonzalez, and they realize that. So rather than keep one of them and cut Jerry or a Godwin Igwe, who absolutely earned himself a spot on the roster, or a guy like that, they decided, you know what? We can replace these kickers with anybody. Let's do it. There was a lot of consternation at first, and the jokes rang down. Yeah. They absolutely did. Some of them were pretty darn funny too. I'm not going to lie. But the fact that they had that sort of presence to realize that, you know what, we might not do better, but we're not going to be any worse by doing this. That little roster gymnastics that they did there, I think the more I look at it, the more I really embrace its brilliance. And John Whitaker from Pride of Detroit deserves a lot of credit for laying that idea out there at first. And if he's responsible for it, dude, God bless you, man. That was it worked. I like it. And Austin Seibert is a perfectly fine kicker. I covered him in Cleveland. I watched him. He had one really bad game when he was hurt, and that was enough for the Browns because they had higher aspirations. He's got time to kick through that now.
Let me ask you though. There's a lot of talk going on about Jake Verity. What the heck happened? Why didn't we sign him? And I don't see him getting picked up yet by anybody else. Why did we go with Seibert instead of Verity? And that's the big question that's hanging out there for folks.
I think Seibert had a little bit more of a track record. He is, in fact, better on kickoffs. And all the hype from Verity came from the first two preseason games. Third preseason game, had a field goal blocked, missed one. So it wasn't like he was this irreplaceable prospect that you had to have. He was very good. He would have been absolutely acceptable. Wouldn't have had a problem with him at all.
Fans would have loved it. I see Jeremy in the chat saying, so MCDC lied when he said we're going for 2 every time. I've lost all confidence in this coaching staff and front office. I'm with you, Jerry. He did have the /S there for anyone who didn't catch the sarcasm. Right. All right.
Green font.
Jake's on the practice squad for the Ravens. Nobody picked him up, so there you go. So he's signable if we decide we need to. It's still an option out there we can do if we put him on the 53. But you're right. It was a heck of a move to keep things open, clean things up, knowing that you can pick up a kicker. And I'll tell you again, having a friend's son, a neighbor, who was a punter for Georgia Tech, it's one of the weird positions, and it's the same thing for kickers. To get to that level, to get to the level where you're looking at the NFL, is as much politics as it is skill. It's one of the strangest things I've ever seen. But there's with the kicking camps and like there's this whole push towards Australian style kickers, crazy. And yet you don't see them ever succeed in the NFL. It's this whole weird, almost child model world of incredible nuttiness. Yeah,
child models.
The little modeling thing. Oh man, it is absolutely nuts. I'll tell you, there are some great kickers out there. Interestingly, you see bad kickers because it's a hard job. It really is a hard job. It's not that the guys are bad. It's highly mentally intensive. If you play golf, you get a case of the yips. It can mess with you for a while. It's a really, really incredibly difficult job that it's a ton of mental to it. So That's where you go. Maybe the political part of it is what preps these guys for the psychological part of being a kicker. I don't know if that's the plan or if that's just kind of how it goes. Who knows? But it is a crazy position. It is crazy.
It absolutely is. And you know what? Austin Seibert will be fine. If he's not, they'll find somebody else who could be fine. Again, this is a team that is not – they have told you with all the moves that they made by cutting guys like Tyrell Crosby, although he was hurt. But just letting Corn Elder go, letting Nickel Roby Coleman go.
Can I go back to kickers once? I'm sorry, Jeff. There's one thing. It came up in the chat, and I think it's really relevant. Did you see the video? People were asking about Jack Fox kicking field goals. Did you see the video that he put on Twitter? I have not seen it. Oh, my God. So it's like, hi, I'm Jack Fox. He looks like he's 12, right? But I'm, yes, from XYZ high school, and I'm going to kick some field goals. And he went and he missed wide right on every single one. It was horrible. He goes, this is why I can't. People asked if I could kick field goals. Take a look. So, no, it was hilarious. The video was great. It's great that Jack posted it because it shows such a great personality and sense of self to be able to do that. But, yeah, no, he is not. He's a hell of a punter. Call it 70 yards all day, right? But no, he's not kicking your field goals.
They're very different skills. I remember they asked Matt Prater to be the backup punter, and they're like, no. He wanted nothing to do with that. Like, no, let the backup quarterback take that punt. I'm not doing it.
Get Sue out there.
Get Sue.
All right, I'm sorry I interrupted you on some of the other players, but I wanted to hit that.
It's just the fact that the moves that they've made by cutting loose the veterans and going with the youth movement and going with guys with more long-term potential, they've told you that they know they're not going to win this year.
Yep.
So all of you who are betting the over on the 5.5 wins probably gave your money away. Maybe they'll get lucky, maybe they'll stay healthy, and that is certainly possible if everything clicks. But they are planning on not winning a lot of games this year. That's what these roster moves have told you. I can tell you, they are aware of that message being sent from these moves, both to the fans and to the league. And they're okay with it. They embrace it. They know that this is not going to happen overnight. They know how freaking deep that hole is that was dug by the last regime. They're not going to fill that and build a house on it right away. They got to get that foundation in order. They got to lay the slab right, and they are trying to do it by getting young players who can be part of something bigger and better. That's why they traded for a guy like Trinity Benson, who I still haven't seen play other than the highlights from his Minnesota game. I haven't seen him yet, so don't ask me on that. But everybody I talked to in Denver, and I talked to a lot of guys, and I put something up on LinesWire about it. I interviewed 5 different guys who covered him with the Broncos, and they're all like, we're going to miss this guy. Like this is a legit NFL receiver. He just didn't have room here. Yep. They all wished him well. They all liked his work ethic. They all liked the way that he went about his business, and they liked his upside as a guy who can catch on a good offense, be a number 4. But in Detroit right now, he's probably the 3 or 2, maybe. But this is a guy who's going to be part of the team for a while, and they gave up in effect a 6th round pick for him.
Yep.
So I'm fine with that.
Let's talk about another kind of moving on kind of thing with some of the players we're getting ready here for Jerry Jacobs to join us for our interview and congratulatory celebratory mini party. Jahlani Tavai. He's a guy. He got a lot of upvotes. This note in the subreddit. And look, I was tough on the guy before. The thing about Jahlani Tavai, he can't help where he was drafted. Number 1.
That's correct.
Number 2, he's a guy who worked really, really hard in this offseason to build his body for what this coaching staff wanted. You cannot say that he was out there without effort and couldn't do it. He wasn't right. He was drafted at the wrong spot. There was all kinds of bad decisions made by the prior regime that didn't help him be better. He's no longer with the team. Frankly, as I said, it's better as a fan and someone who watches the team that we don't have him on the field, but he's a really, really, really good guy. And I do regret some of the snarky stuff. You know what I mean? His dedication this offseason to what he became this year. It showed me how much he actually cares and tries. And you know what? Yeah. Give him credit. Give a guy credit for doing that because he put everything on the line.
He is absolutely a kneecap fighter. Yeah. They just realized that he's not putting the right kneecaps on the football field, and they're going to give him a shot elsewhere. He signed with New England on their practice squad. No, he's not going to become an all-pro for them. It's much more likely that he never plays it down for them. But I hope, from a personal sake, he was never anything but good to everybody who he ever talked to in Detroit.
Yep.
From fans to media to teammates. They all spoke up. They all had his back. and he put up with a ton of crap.
Yep.
So for him, I honestly hope it works out for him, but not too well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Practice squad. There you go. All right, Loretto, thank you for the super chat. I would get to it, but I have to bring forth somebody that we are so excited to have with us here on the show again. We've got the undrafted free agent, who, as you know from our prior interview, is one of the easiest guys to root for in the NFL. His story is one of struggle, triumph, mistakes along the way, growth, learning, and never, ever letting go of his dream. He's a guy whose hard work is so compelling that you'd pay huge money. I'd pay huge money to see his as yet unwritten story from JUCO to Super Bowl on the big screen. Super stud cornerback and member of the 2021 Detroit Lions 53-man roster, Jerry Jacobs. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's good, my guy?
How you doing? I am so happy to do this interview with you, man. That was some of the best news I saw in a long time. You catching the roster, you making the grade, and joining the team, dude. It is something to celebrate. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You worked hard. You worked so hard on this and gave so much. And I know we were going to talk during the preseason, but you were learning new positions. You were working the playbook.
Nice, man.
You got all the swag.
All the way.
How's it feel?
All the way.
How's it feel, man?
Man, it feels unbelievable, man. You know, all the hard work that I put in, it felt like it finally paid off, you know. Just for a lot of people out there, man, just never give up, man. Honestly, like, you know, I get the chills just thinking about this, just because a lot of people, you know, ain't believe I would make it this far or make it on the 53. But, you know, I'm blessed, you know. I'm just happy and ready to work, you know, do whatever it takes to help Detroit win some games, you know.
Yeah.
Make it far.
Let me ask you a question. I want to talk a little bit, go through the preseason a little bit before we go into like right now today, because there's some things that happened, particularly in that Buffalo game. I mean, you were the big star on the TV screen, right? I mean, everyone saw Jerry Jacobs, right? You came in, had that dream under the lights for the first time. What was it like up in the lead up to the game that day? How did it feel?
Man, honestly, it was unbelievable. But like at the same time, it didn't feel like game day. You know, once I got in the locker room, it actually did. You know, I see my name in my jersey. I'm like, oh yeah, it's game day. Like, you know, just going out in the big lights. You know, it was a big lights, big stage, a lot of crowd. You know, just nice atmosphere. Honestly, it was just a blessing. And like when I made my first, you know, tackle or block or hit, it's just like, yeah, I'm here. You know, and it just went from there. You know, my energy level was just high. It was just ready to go. You know, just because like I got another opportunity to play. You know, just to be in the NFL at that, it was just another blessing. So it was just excitement moment at the time.
That was awesome. I have to ask about the punt, right? Because that was it. I mean, that's you were on TV for sure, right? That's what happened. And now when I saw a guy lower his head. Of course, now look, I'm going to be in your corner all the way. I'm just right there. I saw him lower his head and really, really hard in the moment to get around it. It's one of those things that kind of, I don't know if you can change the way you are. You're coming in in the moment. It's happened so fast, but you got the penalty. It happens. That's one of the things special teams is renowned for is yellow flags. But you weren't going to play special teams when we talked the first time, and this was this like we're just going to give it a shot this game, or is this something that may be in the plans for you along the way? Because what's the deal with you playing out there in the Gunners?
Honestly, when I got in camp, you know, I'm undrafted. You know, got to do whatever it takes to get on the roster. You know, so honestly, I was just learning the ways in. You know, I was a little low at depth at corner, so you know I had to work my way in somewhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, special team coach, he told us the first day we got there, he was just like, all the undrafted kids, even if you went 6-7 round, special team is the key to make this roster. And honestly, a light bulb clicked on my head at the time. I was like, oh yeah, you know, you never thought special team was the thing in college, but now it's time for you to lock in. You know, take it serious like it's a defensive playbook. And honestly, I used to just go meet with Coach Phil every day, get a little 10-minute in, you know, talk to him, just let him know I'm really taking it serious at the time. One day he just threw me out gunner. We did a speed test. Ended up being probably one of the fastest person on the team.
Yeah.
And, he just seen it. He was like, you can fly. And he seen me tackle and, you know, being physical. He was like, yeah, man, I like that. One day he was just like, you can be a gunner. You'll be a real special gunner, you know, for anybody, wherever you go. I was like, I appreciate that. And that really just, like, connected me more, like, dang, like, I really can be special anywhere. Like, you know, even on this team, I can be special at gunner. And it just went from there. I just took it serious and just gave him my all for real. Like, he was a defensive staff.
That was great. Yeah. It was amazing.
And on the play in question, you did like 98% of the play was awesome. It's just the end result wasn't so bad. So I'm a little curious. What was it like getting a penalty and going to the sideline? What was Coach Campbell's reaction? What was Coach Phipp's reaction? What was that like? Not to put you on the spot for a negative moment, but you know that kind of stuff happens, and you obviously grew from it. So I'm curious as to how that handled.
Honestly, man, it was crazy because, like, you know, you get a penalty in college and your coach, they don't probably, like, you know, trip or nothing. Like, no one tripped, but at the same time, you be like, oh, it's just a little penalty. You know, you can. But this was like a penalty. I was like, dang, like, I just got in the NFL. And when I got to the sideline, you know, they both grabbed me, Coach Phipp and Coach Campbell. He was just like, good hit. He was like, good play, just keep your head up. And they both just told me that, tapped me on the shoulder and stuff like that. So they weren't really mad. They know I was trying to make a play. And, you know, the little dude was a little lower than me at the same time. I could have kept my head up too, but you know, it happened. But when I seen the flag, I was like, nah, because you know what comes with a flag in the NFL. So I was like, yeah, man, it's crazy.
So let me ask you, because this is something, you know, you see it happen as a player or a fan watching the game. You were taken down the tunnel after that. The question we had originally was that like, did they put you through the concussion protocol after that, because it was head to head? And if so, can you just kind of walk us through quickly what that was like, what you felt, and like what happened while that went down?
It was a concussion protocol. When I got off the field, you know, I was getting a lot of congratulations, so it was a lot of head slapping at the time. And once the trainer got me, since he seen the head. He was like, you all right? And I was slick, did have a headache at the time. I was like, yeah, man, my head, they maybe just slapping it. And I just went down there and did the protocol, which I, you know, did good on, and I could go. So, but it wasn't nothing too bad. It was just probably like at the time, too much head slapping, you know, some congratulations after I just did it, head-to-head hit. So,
yeah.
But, yeah,
and a bit of adrenaline. Bit of adrenaline, that'll get you a little dizzy too, right?
That's all it was.
Cool.
It went back down.
Awesome. So go ahead, Rez.
No, go ahead.
So I was going to ask. So it's all over. First game. I know we're focused on the first game, but I mean, this is where the big experience is, right? Is coming into it. What was that experience like? Right, you come in, you build yourself up all day. There's the jersey in the locker. You put the jersey on, you get out there, you play, you make the big plays, you have all you kind of ran the gamut on end to end on about every experience you can have in a game in that one game. Afterwards, what happens? I mean, at what point do you finally like take a deep breath and say, "Wow, I just played an NFL game"? What was that like?
After the game, you know, my family was in town, so we went to go eat. And like I said, it still didn't kick in. Like, you know, it was just like, dang, I played a game, but like, I didn't feel like I played an NFL game, like, honestly. And then we had meetings. We had a recovery the next day. And then we had meetings to watch the film. And when I started getting coached and seeing myself on the screen, like, and the big blue lights and nice colors, man, it was just like, yeah, bro, you made it. And then, like, I seen myself on the TV, like, which I did in college, but this was, like, on a bigger stage type TV. It was like, man, yeah, like, just keep working, bro. Like, you know. And I just get the chills every time I just think about it or hear someone saying it. Like, no one's cocky. I'm the humblest person ever. And like, anyone who need to hit me up or talk about this, like, I really want to talk to you, like, because like, I'm the percent, like, I'm the 1%, and I feel like I can help more guys out. And like, I got a camp coming up. I'm started up soon. I want a lot of people out there, man. So like, it's really a very excitement, but at the same time, it's ready to, you know, take it to a higher standard and, you know, greater expectation.
Absolutely. If you anything you need with that camp, getting a promo, any of that, you let us know, man. We will be
we can certainly help you out with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all guys. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I got a question for you. So what was it like being like I'm familiar. I didn't play college football, but I'm familiar with like the travel and everything. How much different was it going to Pittsburgh for a preseason game, being on an NFL dollar instead of college?
Man, it was crazy, bro. The plane we got on, like, it was a quick flight. Like, honestly, you know, you be on a flight in college for like an hour or two, but this one was like probably not even a 35-minute flight. So like, it was so quick. Like, I didn't even get a chance to take it out. I put my head back, laid back. 10 minutes later, we already in Pittsburgh. I'm like, dang, but it was a great experience, man. You know, just a trip to take with the team. You know, they let you explore on some free time. You know, you get a lot of little free time just to get out. I mean, see the city while you're there. So it was a great experience, man, going down to Pittsburgh. Though.
That's awesome. We got a lot of folks.
Did you have a roommate when you were there, or did you get?
Oh no. We still when you travel, man, it's COVID, so they all give you gotta wear a mask.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
So cool. We had our own room.
Well, if you get some free time, we got a lot of fans going to be in LA to watch the Lions and the Rams. So we'll see if we can hook up and just say, hey, I know you can't tailgate with us, but just say hi.
Not tailgating, but I definitely come say what's up to you before we get to play.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Look, you spent a lot of time with Jeff Okudah, right? Who's in his second year. He's obviously number one at cornerback for the Lions. Tell us about what that relationship's meant to you, and what have you been able to pick up from Jeff along the way? What's he brought for you?
Man, every time I hear that dude name, bro, I just get I don't know. It's love, bro. It's just nothing but love for him because like he younger than me too. He's a year younger than me, but he feel like my big brother, So it's crazy. That's how I know. But just getting the knowledge because like when I first got in, I really went up to him because like I used to watch him in college. I'm like, bro, you really cold, and like the coach we got right now got him so elite now with everything. You're gonna see he got a great year coming out. He's gonna have a great year coming out. But the connection just clicked after one day he took me home. He invited me to his someone was cooking and he invited me over and we went to go chill and eat. And like the connection just clicked because we talked, his mom passed and my mom passed and like the hunger he seen in me, he was just like, man, I'm gonna take you under my wing, even though he's younger than me. But I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna take it. But because he helped me out a lot because he say his rookie year he didn't get like he didn't get a big brother type love or showing how the rookie ropes is, and like he taking me a great way. And honestly, the first day I met him and the day we've been talking since, it's just been love. Like I feel like he is my brother, and it's great. Just he take me home every day. We just talk, like we go eat. It's great being around Jeff, bro. Jeff is a great dude, and like
that's awesome.
A lot of people out there need to watch the season you're gonna have this upcoming season.
Has he told you? Because I know last year was, for a lot of players in the Lions, was hard. Last year was a difficult year for a lot of the guys on the team and folks. Has he told you about what it felt like last year compared to this year and the difference in the experience for him and how it's changed and how you can learn something out of what he had there?
Yeah. A lot of dudes who's here last year with the program, who's here this year with the new program is basically and they are excited like because they never been around this type of coaching staff. Like they say it's way different. Like compared to that's all they talk about. Sometimes the new stuff we do here, they always say, "Oh dang, bro, Jerry, you probably did that last year." That's how you know the culture and everything just changed around in the Lions program right now. But I think they really love this coaching staff, and we don't really talk about it last year because it's in the past. So we're trying to focus on the future. So they don't really say too much, but when they do, they always joke about it.
I got a question for you. You and AJ both made it as undrafted rookies. Was there like a friendly rivalry where you like pushing one another because you play different positions? He plays inside, you play outside. That's just it's crazy to me that there's two undrafted free agents rookies that made it in the secondary. It's awesome, but it's weird. I'm wondering like what your relationship is with him. Like, do you guys ever like look at each other and like, holy crap, man, we did this?
Honestly, the last thing you said, holy crap, man, we did that today. No, we did that yesterday. Soon we walked in the team meeting, we just looked at each other, like, just smiled. Like, bro, we really just did this, bro. And, like, how you said it. But AJ Parker, man, that's my dog. When we first got in, he was very quiet because I felt like he was focused. I was, too. So we didn't really talk like that. But once OTAs and training camp hit, we all just got as a DB group, and man, AJ got a little closer. We talked because I knew a lot of guys at Kansas State that played with him, so we knew a little couple the same type of people. But we talked, we was talking a lot. But now the connection is probably getting tighter because we both made it as an undrafted rookie, and like we always competed with each other, but we always pushed each other at that. So it was cool. It was never no competition, mad, loving like that. It was always love, just keep working, bro, because we in the same shoes. We got to make it, So AJ Parker, that's my dog, man. It's crazy because we said that yesterday when we was in a meeting. It was like, bro, we did it, bro. Like the two undrafted DBs, the youngest in the team. So like it was just crazy. So yeah, that's my dog. He gonna do great this year on the inside.
That's so great. That is, and it's like your thing, Jerry. You always do it the hard way, man. You always come in the hard way, but you never give up. And I think that's the thing. I said it on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, right? This is truly an American story, an American success story. As someone who came from some tough backgrounds, had some things happen along the way, but always learned, always tried, and never, ever gave up on being better. And it's so heartening to see. I'm telling you, it's a movie script. It really is, to see where you are now and where you came from and how you got here. It's really, really inspiring, man. Let me ask you.
But Chris, I feel like my bad to cut you off, but I know you got a little time, but Chris, I feel like when you said that, it just touched me again, because I feel like every step I did, every fallback I did, I feel like it taught me a greater step in life, because like to where I'm at now, it's just like I probably didn't even see myself being like this probably like 2 years ago or something like that. Yep. So like every step of your fallback, like I said, it was a greater step. So like I really learned from that. Like it was just crazy. And it hit me. I had to say that.
That is the message, though, man. Right? I mean, I think we all have tough spots along the way, but it's the like, learn from it, pick yourself up, don't ever give up, don't ever let anybody stop you from pushing. I had a different path. I've been at zero a couple times in my life, and I've gotten to a really great place. I'm lucky, but I never gave up, and it's the one thing that I think means so much, man. No matter what you're doing, it's such an honest and realistic kind of mantra to live by. So anybody, I don't care how old you are, if you're watching, listening, whatever, live by that. Put that in your head and go. Let me ask you, we're in this never give up mode. We talk about cornerbacks. It's one of the most difficult positions to start out as a rookie. It is so hard. And here you are, right? You always do the hard way. That's what Jerry does.
That's how we do it.
What are you going to do here first year when the learning curve? I mean, we talk about our favorite kind of example is Darius Slay, who's a great cornerback in the NFL and had a great career. He got benched his first year, as a starting cornerback. It's whoa. What are you thinking about? What are you doing, and how are you focusing yourself in this first year to try to get over that first year hump for cornerbacks in the NFL?
Right now, I'm just putting work in, studying the playbook day by day, doing whatever the team need me to do. Like right now, I'm starting on special teams, so I guess that's my role, and I don't guess, but that's my role, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it 110%. And if they need me at corner or nickel, wherever, that's what I'm playing right now. Wherever they need me, if someone go down, next man step up, Jerry Jacobs ready to go. So like that's my mindset right now. So like I'm just working on wherever they need me right now. Just blessed to be on the 53, to be here. So, like, wherever they need me to play, kicker or whatever, we just got to kick it. But
can you kick a field goal?
Yeah, I do it.
We saw Jack Fox's video today. He's not the guy. Can you kick a field goal?
Hey, man, I can get one. Yeah, I think so. Probably not no 50-yarder, though.
Yeah, probably. That's tough, man. That's a tough gig.
Yeah. I don't put that on them.
The chat's going nuts for you, Jerry. They're all loving you. They're all congratulating you, telling you.
Tell them, I can't tweet it, but man, I can tweet it, but I appreciate the love. Like, I really do feel like every morning I wake up, I'm blessed to be in Detroit because the love I'm getting, by the fans, and I appreciate them knowing how I overcame so much, and don't look at me as that person no more because I changed, and I just really blessed, bro. And I put blessed as what I'm gonna always say because I'm gonna capitalize, because you just never know when like you thought you could have gave up and you overcame so much, and you never know who you're inspiring. Like I get DMs every day from little kids, and like it's just awesome. Give me the chills because like I don't just open it, I respond because like you never know. Like I was that kid one day, trying to get a NFL teacher, NFL someone to hit me up. So like it's just a blessing to be here, like for real, Jeff and Chris. So like I'm just happy y'all, help me out too with a lot of fans here with you guys' podcast. And like, I appreciate you guys, sticking with me all the way through the season. We got a couple more podcasts coming because, we win a lot of games.
All right.
Yeah, so
that's good, man.
But yeah, so I appreciate you guys too as well,
cool.
Helping me being on your platform.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, you tweeted out or put it on your Insta, I can't remember which, but that it was a sign that you had made it and it was early in the day. How did you find out that you made it? And like, what was that like? What was that moment like? Was it Brad? Was it Coach Campbell? Was it Coach Pleasant? Who let you know, and how they let you know?
DB room. It was all the coaches for real. I just got in the DB room. Me and AJ, we just chopped it up. They told us, all the work we put in at training camp. We had an amazing training camp, and they loved it. Work ethic. We had a great preseason as well. They feel like we can help this team out in a lot of ways, special teams, defense, no matter what. And once I got there, bro, I couldn't even cry because like I just didn't know what to say. Like I tweeted, I was so speechless. Like I didn't know what to say, like, because the day I opted out, bro, and I get sad about it because, like, the day I opted out, bro, you don't know how many people really thought Jerry Jacobs' life was over, like, thought football was over. And once I tweeted it, I said, all I needed was a shot. And I said it was over. And Detroit gave me that shot. And that's why I got up here and gave them all they wanted, man. But it's a blessing, but we're going to keep going. I appreciate that.
Let me ask you one more question, because this
sir.
is, we talked about this early on. This as we were talking throughout the season here, that you were kind of like our Hard Knocks episode, right? You were our guy that we were going to follow through your career here.
My bad, bro. Count was a little busy.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We got all year. You
did what you needed to do, so we respect that.
Hey, what I tell you at the end, I said, hey, we're going to do a podcast after I get on the 53. Did I not tell you that? I said after I get on the 53, we're going to do the podcast.
You're a man of your word, Jerry. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys.
Well, tell me about, I'm interested in, Hard Knocks is an interesting, I think everyone loves it because it's that time of year when football's really back and everyone's I'm sure you watch it year after year.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Yeah. So you're sitting there and you're in it, you're living it, right? And you've watched it over the years. How close is it to the real deal? And then I have two follow-up questions about your experience, but the experience that you saw versus how they portray it, how close are those?
Real life experience. Nothing on that camera I feel like fake. Like everything they go through and the toughness, the grit, everything they put in to try to be better, and the teamwork going iron sharper iron, like all that is real. Like honestly, and that's why I like watching Hard Knocks, because they got mics, so like you actually can hear all the toughness and everything they going, all the trash talking, trying to get each other better. Like all that is real, and the coaches being tough on you, like doing all that, and then players getting let go, and then that's real life. And like that's why I like watching it. Every year it came out. I've been watching it since it came out for real. So like every year it come out, I always tune in. And just for me to be in the NFL now, I definitely tune in just to see like how other teams going. So it's real. It's real life.
So let me ask you, what was the most stressful thing in meetings there? Because they get into that meeting room and there's two sides of it. One, and we'll ask about what was the funniest thing that happened in meetings so far this year, but what was the most stressful thing for you?
When I first got in, honestly, I had to put my big boy pants on and get in that playbook. Because, the playbook way different than college. Like, the playbook big. It's a big textbook. And, like, you're gonna need to get in there. Like, you think you can just study one day? No, you need every day put something in your brain about your playbook. So, that playbook really had to get me on another different level. So, once I had locked in on that and, got everything down, it was just time to roll. So, It was a playbook. But, good. Honestly, you'll get through it. It ain't that big, You can get through it.
It's some of the most memorable times are the ones where guys are playing jokes, singing, whatever else happens. What was the funniest thing you saw in meetings or training camp or whatever this year in the lead up until getting into the 53?
One day after practice, Coach Campbell called me up for to do a team meeting, and I was just everyone on the team. You can ask anyone, they think I'm the most funniest person just because I talk and get around on people, joke around, and like. They think I'm the most hilarious person ever. And, one day, I thought I ain't never got called. I'm just sitting in the back listening to the team. I eat sunflower seeds to stay up because it's so early. So I got a pack of sunflower seeds in my mouth. And Coach Campbell was like, "Where Jerry Jacobs at?" I just looked like, "Hold on, what? Coach Campbell just called my name." He was like, "Come up here, man." And everybody was like, "Right." He was like, "Come up here to do the team meeting." I'm like big old young mom. I get up there, I ain't have no cup. I'm like, "Coach." He do a little dip, so he had a cup. I was like, "Coach, I got to like talking with my mouth full," and they heard me on the mic. It was right there. And everybody just started crying, laughing, like, "What, bro?" And then they see me spit all that in his cup. They're like, "Yeah," it was just crazy. It was crazy. So that was one of the little funniest moments ever.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's great.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I just want to like the camaraderie around the team. Like all you cornerbacks are so young. Amani's the oldest guy. He's like 25, 26.
That's the GOAT, 2-4.
There you go. That's right.
2-4 get live.
He's going to have a good year too.
A great year.
Watching him in Allen Park, but I just want to like all you guys. I kind of ask about like how Aubrey feels about like because he's not that old either as a coach. Yeah. Like it's so young and dynamic. What's that juice like for you guys?
Man, Coach Pleasant loved it, like, because he said this is the youngest DB group he ever coached. So, and as he said, this is the youngest DB group he ever coached, but best as technique, talent wise, and like when he said that, it was just like because he coached Jalen Ramsey and them last year, one of the best secondaries in the second league. So like for him to come in and tell us that he felt like we went to a higher level with it, and he set the bar every day. No matter if you come right here, you did excellent. He set the bar the next day to a higher standard. And his coaching style is unbelievable. Like, you probably never got coached probably like by a DB coach like that ever. So, like, for him to have safeties and corners together, he's doing an awesome job. Like, he changed a lot of kids around. Like, Tracy, Will Harris, and them dudes, you're going to see, man. They got a great year coming. A lot of dudes in the secondary. Our whole defense, the whole team, everybody on the Detroit Lions.
So you're saying they're not starting the film sessions with Teletubbies. You guys aren't quite that young. Just a little past that, right?
No, we definitely ain't that young. Hey, you, our age is young, but our playing skills, you'll probably think we played probably five for 4 years in the league already, 5 or 6 years.
That's awesome. Well, Jerry, I don't want to keep you on. I do want to keep you all night, but man, I know you got to celebrate. Thank you for celebrating with us, man. I really appreciate it. Congratulations, all your hard work. Like you said, never give up, man. Stuck with it. I'm proud of you. I'm so happy for you. This is really something. Definitely. It's great to be able to see it and just share a couple moments of it with you. Thanks a lot for making the time for us.
Man, Chris and Jeff, man, my guys, man. I'm gonna say one more thing before I get up out of here, man. I really do appreciate you guys a lot, and I thank you for taking your time out to bear with me. You know, when I didn't have a lot of free time going through camp and preseason, and I told you I was gonna keep my word to get on here, but. From day one, man, from being on y'all show, y'all podcast, it was unbelievable, bro. The feeling y'all give me, you know, I feel special being here. So I just want to say thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, you know, helping me put my story out there a little bit and helping me get known around in Detroit, you know. And I just want to say, you know, again, thank you again. And I appreciate the opportunity. And I can't wait for the next podcast we got coming up. It's going to be a great one.
It is.
Good deal, man.
Thank you. After that big win.
Yes,
Game ball to Jerry. Game ball to Jerry.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Yeah. Congrats, Jerry, man. We're very proud and happy for you, buddy.
All right.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you. Have a great day. Jerry Jacobs, everyone. Quarterback of the Lions 53-man roster. Thank you, brother.
We out of here.
All right.
Have a great
night. All right.
All right. Man,
I might need a number 39 jersey, Chris.
What a great dude. I tell you, his story, his soul is just he's a great guy, and that's
you know what I like. Like he knows that he's made it. There's a sense of accomplishment with him, but he knows that the story is just beginning.
Yeah.
Like he knows that like I got to keep this. Like I got the taste now. I'm going to keep drinking this, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
That you know there's sometimes when you get guys like that, and I won't use the player's name, but I know one. He made the Browns as an undrafted free agent. And he got a little complacent. He got a little big for himself. I don't get that sense from Jerry at all. Like this is a guy who knows that he's got to keep scrapping to stick and to get where he wants to be.
It's who he
which
is.
is starting in the NFL, and he's got a chance to do it, and that is freaking awesome.
It's who he is, and it's in his soul. And Loretto, I saw your questions, man. I wanted to get him to him, and I apologize that I didn't. I will ask him when we have him on next time as we get into the season about his pregame ritual, pregame meal, and
yeah.
We can answer this, actually. We'll go to the practice squad question. Loretto said, practice squad, does a player leave and sign anywhere? They get a contract. Does the team have to contact us first? What's the process? And correct me if I'm wrong, Riz. As I understand it, if they clear waivers, they make the practice squad. Another team can sign them away from the practice squad if they sign them to their 53-man roster. But before
Correct.
they go, the team whose practice squad they're on has an opportunity to sign them to their 53-man roster. Is that how it goes?
No, they are free to go anywhere.
Really? Right of refusal.
So waivers ended at, I want to say noon today was when they knew that they were going to get claimed or not. And I think that's actually when they put out that Kaderil Hodge and Austin Seibert were coming to Detroit. At that point, the players who knew that they weren't going to get claimed were given a chance to sign with their practice squad. Now, you can poach guys. It does happen. It didn't happen a lot. The Lions... So there's been reports out there that they got Steven Montez, the quarterback from the football team. That's not official yet. That hasn't happened yet. And in fact, they also said there's also claims out there that they got a tight end from somewhere. He played at Minnesota State. I can't think of his name. They can't both be here because there's not enough room for them. There's 16 spots on the practice squad. There's already 15 guys on it. It's very uncommon for teams to go after guys from other teams unless they're going to put them like really elevate them up. It's an unspoken gentleman's agreement. Like, hey, that's your guy. You drafted him, or you've worked with him this year. Your coaches,
and he cleared waivers.
He knows your system. He's better there. If we're interested in him, if he's not working out, we'll get him. If we need help later. But for now, on the initial practice squad, it's very uncommon to get players from other teams. They will certainly give you the opportunity first to stay where you're at, where you're comfortable, where the coaches know you.
There used to be some shenanigans where they would sign somebody a week before they played with them and try to download the playbook, right? But that doesn't
happen so much anymore. The NFLPA wasn't too high on that because it was taking jobs away from dudes, right. And they don't like that.
Right.
And it's a better opportunity when you stay with the team that you're with. It's easier for the agents. It's easier for the players. They don't have to move. They don't have to find a new place. They don't have to learn a new playbook overnight. Mm-hmm. So that kind of stuff doesn't happen that often. Now, during the regular season, it will happen more because you get injuries, you get players that could suit a very specific need. As an example, the Lions have Nicole Roby-Coleman on their practice squad now. He's a veteran starting slot corner. They like him on the practice squad, and I was told this today from somebody who would know. They very much wanted him back because he can help teach these guys, but he's also, like, if there's an injury, he can play inside, he can play outside, he's ready, and he is a guy who will help guys like Jerry. He's a willing teacher and mentor. That's why he's here. That's why a couple of other guys aren't.
Yep. And we'll talk about that, the whole moving aspect, because that's undersold as to how impactful that is for people.
I mean, just think about Jerry has just found a place to be.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was cut and now he gets claimed by, I don't know, Seattle. You got to go all the way across the country.
Yeah.
He's a Southern boy. He's not been out there, and that's traumatic. And then you're in the process. You got to find an apartment. You got to learn your coaches' names. You got to learn your new playbook. You got to do this in a week and a half.
Where's the bathroom?
That's stressful, man.
Yeah.
That's hard. And I think the NFL has come to realize that that's not something that they should be doing. It's just not good business overall.
And when we get,
I hope that answers the question, Laura.
we have someone who has a lot of experience with that moving in Hank. Really, we'll see when he joins the show, and we'll talk about that because he's been all over the country for all kinds of reasons. He, as a matter of fact, wanted to coach Penny Sewell back at UCLA. And
yes, he did. He was at UCLA.
And he told him, I will coach you later. And look at us. Here we are. There you go.
Bon Jovi. There it is.
All right. Two quick topics we want to cover before the end. Again, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we will go live again with another episode, the forward view, the roster now and looking forward. Jerry kind of turned the corner on that for us, but a little bit of looking forward. Two guys. One, Brashard Perriman is off at the Chicago Bears. He's obviously their number two receiver. Because they are aching for some bacon, says the guy with the team that's aching for some bacon at the receiver spot. What's going on there?
All right. So Bears fans are mad that he signed because they dropped Rodney Adams, who's a very quality receiver, to get him. And I got a lot of this. I'm good friends with Brian Perez, who covers the Bears. And he sort of spearheaded the whole charge against Brashad, and a lot of people who are in Chicago, some in the Chicago media, have sided with him. Like, why? This guy couldn't make Detroit. What the hell are we doing? Rodney Adams is the same kind of player, a lot younger, a lot cheaper, a lot less expectations, but a lot more hunger. They're making the move there that Detroit willfully is avoiding in wasting time with a stopgap veteran. So I don't like it. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm not all that excited about it because it took a job away from somebody that had a long-term potential. Look, Brashad, the physical ability is there. We've talked about Brashad a lot. It's just not there, Chris. And it's frustrating. A lot of teams. The Bears are the 7th organization he's been with in 6 years. That tells you it's probably not you. It's probably not the teams. It's probably him.
Yeah.
And for them to make that and to get rid of a guy like Rodney Adams, who would look very nice in Detroit, by the way, Not a great move on their part, and it's not well received in Chicago either.
Yeah. No. You're absolutely right. All right, so we've got that. We've got another guy who is bouncing around, and that is Mike Ford, who went to the Broncos.
They claimed him. They claimed he's the only Lions player who was cut, who was claimed off of waivers. The Broncos actually put forth an effort to claim him. So good for him.
And there's a question about the trade possibility, right? Could we have just traded?
So the trade, yeah. I was told reliably last night that the Broncos had other offers for Trinity Benson, and the Lions wanted him enough that they actually sweetened the pot a little bit, and it was the pick that's coming back to Detroit is better than what it was going to be. We traded a 5th rounder and a 7th rounder next year, and the 7th rounder is a pick that we have swapped 7th round picks with Cleveland, who's going to be picking 28 or better, 29, 30, 31, 32. They're in that range. They're that good. Instead of 4 or 5 in that round. We swapped that to get David Blau.
Yeah.
That's a pick swap. We got a good backup, a solid backup quarterback that we like out of it, and we got a better draft pick out of it. And now we're trading that away. So it's I like it, and we got a 6th rounder in return. They weren't necessarily going to be including that much of a compensation return based on what I've been told. There were other suitors for Trinity Benson, and he was definitely going to get claimed, and probably was going to get claimed before the Lions claimed him at number 7, because the other team that was looking at him was above the Lions.
Yep.
I can't say who, but there was another team that wanted him that had waiver claim priority on him. I will also say this. I do know for a fact that 2 other teams did put a claim in on Mike Ford, but the Broncos were the lowest ranked team to get him.
There you go. All right. I'm trying to really quick get through the Slack here because Ash had a good one this morning, and I want to quote Ash since he's going to be on post-game shows.
I love Ash.
Yeah.
I love it when Ash puts me in my place because he's right.
He's such a rational dude. And he'll say sorry because he's a Canadian. He says sorry when he's done when he does it. Let's do it. It was really good. So here's how we put it down. So a player who might help the team for a meaningless draft pick, for a meaningless draft pick and a second meaningless draft pick if the player helps the team. I'm fine with that. There it is, right there in a nutshell. Good, easy peasy. Nothing to scream about.
You can tell he knows the English language well.
Yeah, he does. So he will be joining us on all of the Lions home games for the post-game show. He will possibly join us on the away games as he has availability on the away games. We have Sam Mann, of course, joining us. It's a great group of hosts helping us this year. Well, there will be no post-game show, though, on the LA Rams game. We may get some silly streaming from me and Sam Mann from SoFi Stadium because we're going together. We'll hold hands in the stands.
I cannot wait to get into that physical stadium. I just want to see I want to see there, and I want to see Las Vegas, the Allegiant Stadium. Those are bucket list trips for me. I don't really root for either. So I don't really care.
Yeah.
But the architecture and the technology that's been integrated into these new stadiums, I can't wait to see it.
So my whole thing is I'm going to be in Vegas for a week. And then I'm going to LA for the Rams game, and then I'm coming home. I'm going to be broken, dude. I'm going to be so wrecked. I was thinking of going to the UFC fight in Vegas, and it still doesn't have one scheduled, so I wasn't sure. But I was looking at the tickets, $2,350 a person. I'm like, I'd rather buy an NFL ticket at this point.
Wow!
It's a lot of. Now you're in the first 3 rows.
I could follow Coheed and Cambria for weeks doing that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know. So no UFC in my near future. If you want to send me though, the super chats. All right, I do have to say really quick, a little bit of a not as happy note. We were doing the $4 for every shirt to Fisher House to help try to build basically a Ronald McDonald House for vets in Detroit. There's one in Ann Arbor. There's not one at the VA in Detroit. $4 from every shirt. You can also donate at givebutter.com/FHM/DLP and help raise some money there. We were going to stop at the end of August on that, but in light of everything that's going down in Afghanistan and a lot of the stuff, vets have a lot to deal with. There's a lot of stress on them as a result of what's happening. I'm not here to make any comments about it. I just know that there's a lot of people hurting, And so we're going to extend this through September and keep trying to help raise money to get that VA support for those guys.
It hits me personally. I have a fraternity brother whose son was in Afghanistan. He was injured in the blast. He's going to be okay. He got some shrapnel to the arm and the shoulder, but he's fine. But it's harrowing. And I got to say, he took a picture of the flags that were at the consulate. And it was just one flag, and there's like 15 empty flagpoles around. It's a very chilling photo. There's a lot going on with those vets, man. We got to support them.
Yep.
We have to.
So DetroitLionsPodcast.com/store. Every shirt that you buy, there's some really. I mean, look, I've got to say nice things about Detroit in multiple colors. The the mural downtown, we've got one of those. We've got a Bobo Island pine knob. We've got a great bunch of cool retro kind of Detroit shirts. We got some great podcast shirts. We keep adding more all the time. $4 from every shirt sold is going to go to Fisher House, Michigan, and then we're going to do whatever we can. I think we're at $2,000 raised plus the $2,100 from when we took the money from May. So we're around $4,000 raised so far to help those guys out. Anything you guys can do to help, more than more.
Please do it. It's a very worthwhile cause. That's very personal for Chris and myself. And that's really cool. So yeah, we're happy to keep continuing that on.
Yeah. And like you said, we want you guys to get something out of the deal. So that's why the shirt thing, like you can get a pretty cool t-shirt and you can help out along the way. If you just want to give money direct, like I said, givebutter.com/FHM/DLP. There you go. All right. Let's see. We got Jerry, we got Jahlani, we got Cybert, Tyrell. Was there anybody else you wanted to talk about, Riz?
I'll just do a real quick thing on Kadarius Hodge because I know him. Yes. He is the new wide receiver. He is, and if you heard me, but I got to do a little quick thing. I was on the huge show in Michigan today in studio in Grand Rapids. It was really, it was cool to be back on the air. It was in the old studio from the old Big Jim show, which is a little weird and surreal. But I talked about it on there, and that won't be the last time that I'm in with Huge. Which it was cool. It was nice. I had a good time with Bill, who I haven't always had the warmest relationship with, but all's well there. I would say that, and I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it, that went off. With Kadarius. He is a special teams demon. At worst, he takes Mike Ford's spot on special teams. He's one of the 5 best special teams players in the NFL. Proved it in Cleveland. The Browns special teams were wretched before he got there. He and Javier Thomas turned it around single-handedly. He's phenomenal at it. He can do anything. He can be your punt protector. He can be your gunner. He can do whatever you ask him to do on special teams. He can even return punts a little bit. He times faster than he plays as a receiver. In Cleveland, he was at his best backing up and doing what Jarvis Landry does, which is lining up outside, motioning inside, and getting open in the intermediate range. He's got strong hands. He was the only receiver in the NFL last year that caught at least 10 passes, where every single pass produced a first down. He's a hardworking guy. If you go to the subreddit, r/Detroit Lions, you're going to see a ton of Browns fans congratulating Detroit on getting a really good guy. So that tells you a lot. He was very well liked. Look, in Cleveland, they are freaking loaded. Donovan Peoples-Jones would be wide receiver 1 in Detroit. He's wide receiver 5 in Cleveland. Kadarius couldn't beat that out. And he was making $2 million. It's too much money to pay for a guy that's your 6th guy on the bench. And for special teams, they reallocated assets. They're in a different spot than what the Lions are. He's young enough. Remember, he does have experience playing with the Rams. Brad Holmes found him out of Prairie View A&M as this unheralded guy, kind of like Jerry, that nobody really had any expectations for. And he worked his way in because he busted his ass on special teams and proved that he could grow, in fact, as a receiver. He can play. He's going to be, I think, Amon-Ra's backup and play some outside when they need to be bigger. When Khalif Raymond is on the field, I think they're going to be smaller and more dynamic. When it's like 3rd and 5, I think you're going to see Kadarius on the field.
There you go.
That's my take with him.
So everyone in the chat, sorry, I'm missing questions now because my monitor window on YouTube died, and I can't get it back. So I'm following on my phone while we do this. Folks are trying to call. We're not going to do calls today. We will do them on the Friday show. I promise that.
Friday is the time to call in and do that. Both Chris and I have time constraints tonight. I'm going to do a vlog tomorrow Hopefully, I'll get it up to Chris by noon, and hopefully he will process it. So you will have it sometime tomorrow afternoon, evening.
Yep.
Just on my general thoughts on where the roster is at, and then we'll talk more expansively about that on Friday.
Yep. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Use keyword, coupon code, whatever you call those things, Lions, Lions. Get 55% off. If you want to recover from a workout, go ahead and hit CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. The regular CBD helps you with pain, anxiety, and insomnia. Works great.
All those right now, Chris.
And helps you get through or it doesn't help you, but you'll get through a drug test. If you use the chill line or the extreme chill, Delta 8, which might be going away in Michigan, but don't worry, you got Delta 10, which also gives you a buzz. Both are there to give you a buzz. You will not pass the drug test, but they give you the help for pain, anxiety, and insomnia, and also give you a nice super buzz. Take one the first time, just one. Please listen to me. I've got 6-7 different stories from people that took more than one, and they recognized their mistake after the fact. One is good, and then you know what your dose is. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Get yourself some fun. Help the show by doing something you really want to do anyway. Take care of your body, take care of your brain, and get yourself some good restful sleep. I have this really killer sleep app called Auto Sleep that I use. And there's an absolute difference in my levels of deep sleep, deep regenerative sleep when I have CBD in my life and when I don't. I'm just going to tell you,
really?
It puts you to regenerative sleep for a nice long time. And the next morning is like, ooh, I slept good last night.
I could use that.
And you don't have the groggies in the morning. You wake up, you're just like snap up and you're off to go. It doesn't there's no hangover, nothing like that. It's a really, really good deal. CBD.DetroitLionsPodcast.com. First, take care ahead. All right. With that, we're going to call it. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell, all those things. That really helps us out with the algorithm, and we appreciate you when you guys do that. Oh, no, we have a super chat. Let me see if I can see it.
Yeah.
You guys are hurting me. Okay. It's the Samurai Sword Salesman, Hattori Hanzo. Up the irons. How much are we going to miss Prater this year?
Up the iron. By the way, best Iron Maiden album somewhere in time.
There you go. That did come up as part of the conversation. Which is the one with Number of the Beast? That was my favorite. Was it Number of the Beast?
That's Number of the Beast.
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember the album. That album I can listen to and over and over and have many times. Yeah. All right. With that, remember, don't forget about us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Patreon.com/Detroit Lions Podcast. Interact with Riz and I every day in the Slack. It's the most intelligent Lions chat on the internet. Questioning and bar none. It is absolutely the best place to hang out. Got all the good stuff going on there. Also, follow us on Twitter at DET Lions Podcast, DET Lions Podcast, and at Jeff Risden. If you want to see a man not wearing pants, that's the place to go. Also, give us a call via Skype at Detroit Lions Podcast, all one word, Detroit Lions Podcast, or call us on the Lions line at 929-33-LIONS. It's 929-335-4667. And be sure to go to DetroitLionsPodcast.com. Subscribe to the podcast so we can do what? What are we going to do, Riz?
And come into your ears automagically.
That's right. We don't do the little box thing anymore, do we? Thank you for tuning in. We're going to see you next time on the Detroit Lions Podcast. Remember, no pants, no toasters, no hot tubs. Problems, baby, because we're your Detroit Lions and Reddit connection.